Hello everybody and welcome to Manor Lords, a medieval strategy city building game with some kind of real-time strategy tactics when it calls for it. It also has seasonal progression such as spring, summer, fall, and winter, along with influence that you gain as you protect your people, defeat the bandits, and tithe to the church if you have enough food and money to do so. The big thing is to survive a total year, and we're gonna try to do that in this episode. So if you're excited for something like that, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump in to Manor Lords. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start a new game, and in this opening scene, you kind of get to choose some things that you want to, but we're going to do something a little bit fun. As I have about 20 hours in this game, I've played around with it just enough to kind of understand the mechanics of it. And let's be honest, as an early access game, it doesn't hold your hand very well. You get to have a few choices of your person that you want to be, and we're going to go with this, magician looking guy. And the reason is because I've gone through and made a pretty cool coat of arms, and we're going to be the House of Hogwarts. Now, of course, this is incredibly customizable, and you could do all kinds of things with your house shield if you so want to. But I've decided I'll go with a Hogwarts type theme because, I don't know, I can, and it looks cool. So with all of the houses selected, we're just going to continue and start a game exactly how we want. So once you continue, you get to choose your scenario. Now there is only one early access map, and it has like 9 regions that are kind of generated differently every time you play it. So no 2 regions have the same fertility or the same resources or things of that nature. Now you have a relaxing kind of, chill, I get to play however I want, rise to prosper. There's the restoring peace one where you get attacked by bandits and other people. And then there's on the edge, which I haven't played yet, but I haven't also played restoring the peace. I've just done a peaceful rise of prosperity. So I'm looking forward to actually having a little bit more combat so that we can maybe dominate the realm. So I'm going to leave most of these settings at normal, and I'm just going to click begin. Okay, so we're going to drop down in here on our starting location, which has a few peasants and some resources, as well as a few people. But we're going to pause the game real quick and check this new message out. All right, the victory condition is dominance. Build your town, your manor, and when ready, press claims towards the regions owned by your opponents. Once a claim has been pressed, be ready for battle. All right, well, I will unite these lands under my rule. That sounds very British of us. So now we're going to zoom out towards the resources here, and we're going to check out what we've got going on here. So we have all different kinds of resources. There's food, there's other things to build with, construction materials, but the main resource that we really want to look at is fertilities, and we want to see emmer fertilities. That's where we get our wheat from. And to be honest with you, this is not looking too bad. We could probably get quite a bit of wheat growing over here, but we're just gonna have to strip down all those trees. And as you can see, it does extend into the trees, so we could get a pretty decent amount of wheat from right here. That's not bad. Plus we start off with a rich deposit of wild animals, and rich deposits just mean that you have more of that said resource, as well as a rich deposit of stone. Iron's not too good, but it is a decent start. And as I was saying before, it is a 9x9 kind of grid of regions that we get to, have under our rule if we so desire. So with the game paused and kind of knowing what we want to do here, leaving the emmer to be resources that we might make a farm out of, and we might do the same thing over here and then place a little farm over there. We would just have to do some shenanigans, but that's for a later date. The next thing we need to look at is our underground water to see where we want to build our town. And to be honest with you, it's kind of looking a little bit like I want to build it right here, because flax is bad, barley is bad, rye is meh, but rye doesn't really exist in the game right now. I don't really understand what rye is for. I've tried to figure it out, but I cannot. So with our underground water like right here centralized and everything around here being pretty poor for growing crops, I kind of want to build the town right here on the hill. And I don't think I've ever been in this region before. So let's get cracking on it. All right, so what have I learned in my 20 hours of playing this game? Well, for starters, we're going to have an industry area probably right over here. It's really convenient. And then we'll probably have like the Hunter's Lodge and things of that nature over here. City will be there, and then all of the resources will come in probably via one single line into this area, and this probably all will get turned into our city. So the first thing you want to do is you want to build a logging camp, and we'll probably put this logging camp, I don't know, probably I'd say right here for now, and then that will be an absolute necessity for the very first thing that you build. And then roads are free, so we'll just plop that road in right there. Great. And we'll get them to build this on the of highest priorities. The second thing we need to do is kind of just lay out what we want our city to kind of look like. And we're going to try to follow this topography that we've got going on here, because we're going to need some early whatever houses, but we want to centralize the town. We'll just follow this tree line and make it look kind of neat here. And we'll build kind of a half circle, and we'll have our market in the center and then houses around all of that. But we'll also leave a couple spaces for some advanced buildings that we'll need to upgrade said houses. Now, like I said before, we're going to take this right here and we're going to bring it right up and onto the road that I've lost in the trees. There it is. And we're going to make that just a straight shot. So now what we need to do is kind of figure out where our central piece of all of this is. And I believe that I'm just going to make a crossroads basically from here to there. Done. And unfortunately, it really doesn't destroy any trees when you put a road down. So it's actually kind of hard to see the crossroads. Yeah, it's all right. Early access. We love it though. Now that the game is unpaused, we get to see our families are walking a tremendous distance actually to go and build that first said item. And yes, I know that it's way far away from our starting location, but I just think that that's going to be the best. Yeah, they probably wanted me to start here, but nah, I don't think so. So who do we have here in our city doing all of our good work? Well, our peasant here is Fritz, and the ox's name is Lawrence. All right, Lawrence and Fritz, that's nice of you. Please go build our logging camp so we can build more things. Oh, and it looks like we have received a message. Okay, this is from Hildebolt von Buratine? I don't know. Anyways, I have heard of your renown and only seek to defend my rights and my honor against those who would wrong me. I hope you will not judge me by the rumors and slanders that some may spread about me. Oh boy, what did you do? Well, let's write back. What can we write? You have no rightful claim to Selbitz and Hoffersedden. Okay, drag and drop. And let's send that. And I'm sure he's mad at us. So those must be the regions that he has. Ah, yes. So he has Hofferstetten and Selbitz. I don't know. Maybe he sells a lot of things, and so yeah, Selbitz. Anywho, whoa, mercy. Okay, now with our logging camp secured, we can add some families to this to get them to start working. And the cool thing about this is that people and their families all work in the same place, and they may even set up a market if they need to sell said goods to the market. So with that in mind, let's go over to where our stuff is here, and there's a quick way to actually clear some trees, and that's pretty much put a market down and it clears all of the said trees. But we want to find where our crossroads is and try to put some stuff down there. I'm thinking the crossroads is somewhere about right here. And we'll just clear off these trees first. And boom. Now we can kind of see some roads over here. We'll go ahead and do some things like similar there and over here. And boom. With a little bit of cleared out space, we can kind of see what we're doing. And we could just demolish these real quick. And yeah. But we do want to keep one marketplace, but we don't need one that big. Not at all. Okay. So with all that cleared, the idea is that we're going to have two crucial buildings to our entire town that are going to be sitting right here in this area, as well as our marketplace and then houses that surround all of those said items. Now, as this is kind of an awkward looking space, I think I'm going to put the market right here, and then we're going to do the church and the tavern later in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the marketplace for permanence this time, for keeps. And like I said, it doesn't have to be too big. It actually gets a lot of market spaces, which is each of those like crosses that's in there. So we'll go ahead and put the market there, and then we'll try to put down some houses because our people are homeless and they're not very happy about that. They're freezing, they need a burgage plot, and yeah, and then we need to set down our resources so that we can get said things here as quick as possible. And like I said, since most of our stuff's over here, we have that road that comes in. That'll probably be where we set our resources. So let me plop down some burgage plots real quick. Maybe a few, I don't know, 5 of them, because that's how many people are homeless. Now, the cool thing about these burgage plots is you can set them up and then reduce the size of them so that you get a maximum amount of space. In each of these spaces, it has one house plus an additional house that can hold an additional family. So where we had just 4 houses here, well, that's only going to be 4 families. But if I do this, I get 6 families, and all I have to do is upgrade to these little spots. Now, the other thing, we need to make sure that we have some space in the back. The reason is we can have some really cool advanced things happening in the back of these plots. So I'm going to throw these plots down here, and then I will probably have to wait a little bit for resources before I can put the rest of them down. And there we go, 3 burgage plots already in place. Nice. That's going to come in handy. And our families have already moved into, I think, most of them, if not all of them. So as soon as a plot is available with our homelessness, we only have 2 now, so that means 3 of them are already moved in. Now, one thing I'd like to do is go ahead and make some roads here, probably around the market. That way we could put some more burgage plots around this area. The other thing that we need to think about too is trying to get that well access as soon as possible. I'm thinking I'm just going to place it right here. Now, as far as I can tell, it doesn't matter how far away the water is as long as they can get to it. So that'll be just fine where it's at. All right. So now we need to kind of do some future planning, and I want to make a few burgage plots that are not very big. I know that's kind of counterintuitive to probably how most people play this game, but the reason is I want to be able to have some specialized guys, and they don't need a lot of space in the back, and we could put chickens back here temporarily if we so need to. So I'm thinking I'll probably just do, we could do 4 this way, or we can do 4 this way. I kind of want more houses, and that'll probably make more sense in the later part of the game. Now, one of the next things that we have to build is going to be a firewood stall. And the reason is that is your fuel source. So I'm going to go ahead and place this guy right here, right up next to where the logging camp is. And the reason is because they kind of service the same area, but you know, I can manage that. And that's the cool thing about these logging camps and firewood camps. So under the advanced tab, you can limit the work area to wherever you want. And then if you hold control and do a big scroll, basically I'm going to tell these guys to harvest all the trees from there. And then I'll probably have these woodcutters do the same thing and harvest all of these trees right here. The main thing is I just don't want them to go over here by our food sources, because if they do, what ends up happening is these guys go away, and they go away forever. And there's no getting them back. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Now, securing food would probably be the next course of action here. And I'm thinking I'm just going to bring a road off of here. Now, when you look at the range of the animals here, we got to make sure we stay close enough to them, but far enough away that it's okay. So I'm actually I'm just going to put the hunter's lodge there, and then we'll put a berry picker probably right here. And that way they're not too far away from the city, and they're not too far away from the labor, and they're kind of in that middle point. But to solve the problem of getting food to our people, my plan is this. I'm going to put the granary about right here. And the reason is I want it to be close to this initial food source. And then I want to also put a storehouse like right next to it. And that way, everything that we have as far as food and storage is all pretty close to the market. So the market doesn't have to go very far. Now, these guys will have to go a good distance to get all the resources around here, but that's going to be okay because we could just populate this with more people and it's totally fine. According to all my testing so far, that is kind of the best way to do it. All right, so now we have some food and we have a little bit of firewood and we have a place to store everything that we have. So that is a good start. We have enough burgage plots for all of our families, and we have a new message, as you can see in the middle of the screen. We had an armament delivery. A strong militia is paramount to survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has just arrived. You will now be able to create your first militia banners and serve and protect the people, your people. However, you will need more weapons to equip all the people as the settlement grows, either by making them or importing them from other lands. Let's form the militia. Okay, which you can't really form your militia until after you build your manor house, which we'll get to that probably very soon. Now, as you can see, we have a food stall here in our marketplace, and it is selling all of the foods that we so far have. Now, a couple of things that we need to get done are we need this granary to have a person in it, and we need to have a spare person to do some of our building, because we still haven't quite got our building of the woodcutter's lodge finished yet. Now, the way that you get more people is to have this number above 50%. And as you can see with homelessness, we have a little bit of work in front of us, but it shouldn't be too difficult. All right, so now with the firewood choppers going crazy, we got 44 wood, we have 6 months of food and 7 months of firewood fuel to keep us going, and our approval rating is finally above the 50 mark. So we should start getting some more people here randomly in the very near future. Now, we have plenty of houses to get said families going, And I definitely think that we're off to a decent start, but there's always room for improvement. Right now, we're just having to be real micromanaging by adding and subtracting people from places to, you know, get said goods to the market. But like I said, this is a good little distance away, but it's going to work out. It's going to be way better. And what we can do, and I was just thinking about this, is we could just put a little road that goes right in through there, cutting through, giving them a little bit better access to that. They'll take the least path of resistance for that. Now, as far as the firewood goes, I'm pretty sure they're going to travel on this road, but for food wise, now we have a food road right here. It's going to be glorious. Now, the next thing that we need to do is really think about our imports and our exports. We got to get some money being made, because we only have a regional wealth of 50 when we start out, and that isn't going to get you very far. But unfortunately, we have nobody to build anything, so we're going to have to take somebody off something just to get through that. Now, winter is coming, as it says right here, and we're going to have to probably kind of wait out the winter just this season. Kind of playing it a little bit slower than I normally do, but I want to make sure that we catch everything as it's happening. Once we get a few extra people in, that's where it's going to really take off, and you can really start playing the game a lot more hardcore. We just got to get ready for those bandits, and there is bandit camps that pop up around the map. So there's 2 of them over here, and the only way to really get money is to make said bandit camps go away. So we may have to put up our army a little bit sooner than I imagine I wanted to, just to make sure that we get those bandit camps and we get some regional wealth as well as some personal wealth. Yes, our Lord needs his money, and getting it through taxes, yeah, that's it's not good. It's not really good this early on. But one of the things I want to start working towards is the manor house, and it's going to take some stone and some planks. Now, planks, we don't have that production up yet, but we definitely want to get some stone. Stone is easy, so we'll probably go ahead and put a mining pit probably right here. That way we can extend the road like so. Now it's going to give me a warning that says, hey, you don't have anybody to build this, and I know this. There we go. Unassigned families needed to work in the stonecutters camp. We already took our guy from the logging camp, but what we can do is temporarily take our guy from the storehouse here, because I don't need him running around getting anything for the right now. And we could have him come over here and build this stonecutters camp real quick. So while I have a free family as well, I think I'm going to come down here and plan out where we're going to put our trading post. This is going to be key to survival. We need that probably right there, right on the King's Road, so that we can do some trade. And what we'll probably trade is a lot of this stone to begin with, and as well as some planks, because planks technically, I would tell you, are a renewable resource. Once you get the foresters down and they're replanting the trees, those planks, man, they can make you a lot of passive income. And since we still have our guy free, we'll go ahead and kind of plan out this saw pit here. We'll probably do 2 of them in the long run, but we'll just set 1 down for now. And we'll let him get building all that. And I want to extend my road out here just a little bit, just so that we can have some more space to do other things. This is quickly becoming our industrial area, and I want to keep it right here as close to that trading post as possible. We may even set up an additional storehouse here. That way, you know, we can store the goods that we want to trade a little bit closer and a little bit faster. And done. So now with our trading post, our saw pit, and our stone cutter over here, we are ready and poised to try to make some money. Now, we do have a new family that has moved in, and with one unassigned worker, we'll probably go ahead and just start probably cutting some stone, because we still want to try to get our manor up and going to go get some of those bandit camps, just because they are so profitable. Who would have known that taking bad guys out would have been so profitable? Now, one thing I have been holding on to is a development point. We were able to build our 5 burgage plots, which gave us to the next settlement range and allowed us a development point. Now, what would we be spending that development point on? Well, I'm not quite sure yet. Now, in the past, I would go straight for trade logistics, but they nerfed that in the last patch. And so trade logistics, not as powerful as it used to be. It used to be you could trade in anything that you wanted, but that just doesn't seem like really a route that I want to go. Now, we do have trapping and we have advanced skinning, making double of whatever were harvested, which could come in pretty handy because we could make a lot of clothes and sell them. But what I'm going to do for now is just hold on to this development point. We may have to do some heavy plow just so that we can get some food, because that's going to be a problem here in the very near future. Now, jumping here in the trade post, we want to try to open up some trade for planks and stone. I really feel like this is the way we're going to make our most money. And because we only have 50 regional wealth, and we have some plans for that money, we definitely need to start making some money as soon as we can. Planks get us more money, but it cost us more money to open it. Overall, it'll make us money bigger in the long run. So I think for now, I'm gonna open up the planks one first and establish this trade route. And then we're gonna go to export. Now, I will need somebody in this building to make this happen, and I'm going to need planks to sell on the trade. But for now, I'm going to tell it to, if it's anything over about 15 planks, I want it to sell anything over that. So we'll stock up 15 and then that'll be it. In the meantime, we'll let our stone cutters here just go ahead and cut all of the stone that they could possibly cut. And while they're doing that, I just want to get up to about 15 to 20, and I'll have a decent amount of stone to kind of progress in the game. We just want enough to build the manor, and that is all. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, with our remaining money, something I want to do is get some vegetable gardens going, and that is going to be incredibly useful. So we're only going to be able to put down 2 of them, but I'm going to choose these 2 plots right here and put down some vegetables. Just because it takes, I think it's about 1.5 years to really get these things rolling. And that is some free food for us. Now, it's not like we're really too bad on the food. We got 11 months of food, and that is literally coming from just the hunters camp here, because these guys, they're not harvesting anything and we don't have it, which would be pretty useful to pull that guy away and have him working on the salt pit right now. All right, so we've been waiting here for quite some time just to get a few new families, and one has actually moved in recently. So what I've gone ahead and done is drop down a forester's hut. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this going in a hurry, and you can do the advanced work area just the same as you can with the logging camp. So we're gonna adjust this area, and we're gonna kind of keep it small. And the reason is they'll plant this a lot faster if it's a smaller area. And what this means is the logging camp, it can go a lot farther, and so it can just harvest a little bit of these trees while it's waiting on the others to grow. And that'll be fine, honestly. It'll be totally fine. Plus, we're not even harvesting any timber right now. And we got our planks. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this guy off of there. We're gonna just pause it for now and utilize this person somewhere else. I know we want those planks to trade, but for right now, I'm not too worried about it. So what we're gonna go ahead and plop down is our Manor Lord Castle. Ooh, yeah, this is our house, baby. Now you could draw a pretty cool little castle that goes around it, and I kind of want this right on the edge here, right here in this area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold click and we're gonna turn this thing around. I think that the arrow for it is pointing that way, and we'll go ahead and stick this sucker right where it gives me the opportunity to do it. Oh man, we're not gonna have that opportunity because it says it's too steep to build. Okay, so we're gonna go with location number 2 that I scouted out, which is gonna be right here in this corner. I think this corner is going to be really good. I feel like I still get the kind of manor that I want. Oh, thank you for that save. And we're going to put that right there. Now, in this kind of construction castle planner, you can build all kinds of things. You can build walls. You can build outer towers, which will expand their building area. We can do a garrison tower, which looks really good on the inside. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't really look good on the walls. And then we're going to have a tax office, which is under rework. It's cosmetic only right now. But I don't really want any of these right now because we don't have the planks to do it. We don't have enough stone to do it. We don't have enough timbers to do it. It is what it is. So we're just going to commit to the house, and then we're going to grab this right here, bring it straight down, and build it right there. And this is our little cabin in the woods. Yeah, it's not pretty, and we really can't see it, but it's okay. I'm a woodsy kind of guy. I like the mountains. Oh my, well, we were waiting for our manor to be built, and we are waiting for spring to happen. It looks like we got a new message. Oh boy, what could that be? Raiders are near. Oh no. We've received reports of a band of raiders roaming the nearby lands. Should we track their steps? Yes. Prepare. We have 365 days to prepare. Oh boy, yeah. Okay, so we really need to get more people. We need to get that army, and we need to take out some bandit camps so that we can have some money to maybe buy some mercenaries to take these out, because we definitely don't have the troops to do it. And luckily, we do have quite a bit of bandit camp going on over here in this one area. I mean, they are really liking Zawaiwu. Boy, I can't wait to rename these. And our manor is complete, and it's really nice that we have this tree right out in front. Yeah, I tried to get rid of that with a marketplace, but it wasn't having it. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that. It's fine. It's fine. Don't look at it. Don't. Now, while we've got some time, I definitely want to add the extra living space in each of these houses that can have it, especially the ones with the carrot farms. If we have enough resources, we'll go ahead and do that as well. Now, another thing is we are looking really good as far as we are ready to trade. So we need to make sure that we get these saw pits moving and grooving as much as we can. I'm going to put a person in there again and get some saw going, but we're going to need to put a person here, but I just don't have the personnel to do it as we don't have any kind of extra persons. Now, one thing that was happening was our yellow friend here came over here and took out all of the bandit camps that were in this region. And so now I have no bandit camps to go after. And that means that anytime that any bandit camp comes available, we're running directly towards him. But we are pretty much looking stable right now, and I'm pretty excited about that. Being stable is definitely the first hurdle. We have plenty of food coming in, we have plenty of fuel coming in, and now we can make our army a retinue. I don't even know what they're called. So we have 5 of these guys right now, and we could just rally them at any point, and then comes the fun mechanic of being able to take on other people. But I think that's something that we're gonna have to do in the next episode. So if you did enjoy what you saw today, there are 2 different ways to support. You could join the Discord or support me on Patreon. The links will be in the description. You could always support by liking and subscribing, as it always helps out the channel. Hit the notification bell so you could be alerted of any time any Manor Lords or any other content gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons at the end of the screen to see what else we've played, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.